is up, my friend? Sean the Average Angler. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today we have a good one. But first, cheers to all you, my friends. Happy February. We are a little bit more than halfway through the month, and spring is right around the corner. So, today, I thought I would give you some of my must-haves, and I'm going to break it into a few videos because otherwise they'll get too long. People don't seem to like long videos. Maybe I just don't have the personality for it. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to share you some experience here. Share with you some of my favorites. Pretty much from now through, well, some of these will go all the way through the year. For those that don't know, my Instagram is FlippinZ, FLIPINZ. That is because I love flipping. Flipping, punching, pitching. I love fish and cover. Now, the last few years, I've kind of shifted a little more offshore. I still love flipping. That hasn't changed. So we're going to go over some of those baits. Some of my favorites. Somewhere in this video, I am going to give you one of my absolute must-have. There's one bait I cannot leave home without any time I go fishing. And we'll get to that when we get to it. I'll tell you. So we're going to start out kind of with close quarters, flipping, pitching, that kind of stuff. And these can also be used for other things. This particular bait here, this is a Zoom. This one is the Ultra Vibe Speed Craw. And then the other one I have here is the Super Speed Craw. This is a green pumpkin flash, and through this video you'll probably find that I like green pumpkin and blue quite a bit. No other reason other than it gets bit, and there you go. So there's the difference. Both of these, flipping, pitching, you use them as a trailer on a jig, and believe it or not, Carolina rig. These are great Carolina rig baits. I've really kind of gotten into Carolina rigging these the last couple years. There is a Speed Craw that is bigger size. I don't remember if they call it Super or Magnum. I just grabbed a couple bags off the wall behind me here for the sake of the video. Very universal bait, many ways to fish it. Again, punch it, flip it, pitch it to cover, Carolina rig it. I catch fish on them any of those ways. The Carolina rig is kind of a springtime deal. Works really well on Clear Lake. Probably works well everywhere, but I'm very comfortable with it at Clear Lake. All right, next one. The good old tried and true Zoom Brush Hog. And no, I'm not sponsored by Zoom. Zoom's just been around for ages. Again, this is watermelon with purple flake. If I need a little less action, I'll go to, I think they call this the Super Hog. And then this is kind of a, let me grab an open pack so I can pull one out. Unfortunately, once you open these, there's no label on them, so, and you'll see these are old. Look at the wrapping. I've had these a long time. I've got a wall full of them up here. For a long time, this worm held, actually, I think twice This worm held the California Delta record. But it's a zipper worm, right? Flat on either side. It's got the nice ribs here. Pulls a lot of water when it's going down. Great for fishing edges, tules, wood, you name it. The curl tail's not so big that it's going to grab onto the wood, which, you know, some baits have a tendency to do. A brush hog will do that. Colors I like for the California Delta, Clear Lake, June bug. This is Rhythm and Blues. That's pretty much the two colors. I have some other colors. That's pretty much the two colors that I kind of stick with the majority of the time. There was also Magic. Worm made them for a while. They had some other colors that I might use, but I fished them a little different. Those would have been more for dragging or Carolina rigging. Much softer bait. But anyway, moving on. The next staple is a Missile Baits D-Bomb. The D-Bomb just works. I mean, I really don't know what else to say about it. Flipping, punching, pitching, great bait. If I'm gonna Carolina rig, I'll use the heck do they call the one that has the legs, the longer legs? I'll use that one. Anyway, Missile Baits. Can't go wrong with Missile Baits if you love flipping, pitching to targets, docks, pilings, Missile Baits. Another one of my favorites. I don't mess around with too many. I got a whole bunch of Reaction Innovation beavers. When they first came out, they were phenomenal. It didn't matter where you threw them. It was the first bait of its kind. Now I use those more for a trailer, a jig trailer. But back in the day, I used to flip them, pitch them, and you could just throw them any old where, man. You could cast to the bank and just kind of hop them out, and they would crush them. I mean, it was insane how easy they were to catch on that. And I was able to get some before they were released to market. Yeah, it was freaking insane. But kind of the bait that's replaced that for me for that type of fishing, and the one that I will not leave home without, and I've got hundreds of bags of these in this color, and that's the Strike King Rage Bug. And I use both sizes. If I go to a lake with smaller fish, I'll throw the regular size one. This is the Magnum Rage Bug, and its blue craw is by far and away my favorite color. I have probably close to every single color they make. When I'm fishing a tournament, I will have the whole box in there, but I'll typically fish out of a bag once I dial in the color. The action of this is just phenomenal, and it's really unlimited of how you can fish it, right? You can use it as a jig trailer. You can use the big one, you can use the regular one, and they have a smaller one now. You can fish this, flip it, punch it, drag it, Carolina rig it, anything you want, just all by itself, okay? I think really the underutilized aspect of this bait, and what I figured out a long time ago, is you can swim this bait, and it is phenomenal. You can put this on the back of a chatterbait. You can turn it sideways. Now that they have, sucks getting old, man. I can never remember the names of baits. It is the Rage Menace. Okay, now that they have the Rage Menace might fill the bill a little bit better on a chatterbait, depending on which way you want to rig it. If you want to rig it on its side so that the kickers are kicking up, this is probably the better bait, just because the body there is not going to cover so much of the hook. Whereas if you threaded it through here, you're giving up a lot of hook space. And I'd probably actually use the regular one on the chatterbait fish that way. But if you're fishing it this way, flat, no problem. And the action out of these is just phenomenal. On a chatterbait or jig, I generally will pull off the side arms. Every other time I'll leave it there. Phenomenal bait. It's my do not leave home without bait. I can't go fishing without it. Even if I don't use it, I feel very, very uncomfortable if I don't have them. And I always try them. It's just, I have so much confidence in that bait. I've caught so many big fish on that bait. I just can't leave it behind. Anyway, those are my favorite for flipping, pitching Carolina rigs. And the bonus must have go everywhere with me is that Rage Bug Magnum size, okay? Thanks for watching. If you like the video, like, subscribe. We're gonna be doing a bunch of favorites right now. Favorites, must-haves, that kind of stuff. Just to kind of cover some things, help out the guys that are new. Maybe you don't have money for a whole bunch of different tackle. If you don't, I suggest the Strike King Rage Bug. If it was the only one I could have in a beaver style bait, you can do so much with it. They're reasonable. They stay together. For the way I fish them, they stay together. I can catch quite a few fish on them without having to replace the bait. Thanks for watching Fish On. We'll see you soon.